Rees-Zammit made his NFL debut last night against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He got to play a couple downs. I'm going to take a look at his highlights from that game, do a quick analysis and breakdown, and just really want to see how he looks in pads and seeing how he looks on the field. I'm excited to check this one out. I appreciate you being here. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's check out the man Rees-Zammit for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go. With NFL preseason just starting, it's the games where they're deciding who's going to make the 53-man roster for the season, and players get their reps, get a little bit of field time, and the coaches get to judge the performance and then scale them from there. So we see that they lost 26-13 to the Jacksonville Jaguars last night, and the biggest thing is just player evaluations and getting those reps and seeing how they're going to fit into the scheme and system for the upcoming season. So we're going to take a look at the highlights provided to us by NFL UK Ireland, and it's going to be all of LRZ's first snaps in the NFL. I believe he has a few offensive snaps, some special team snaps, and it's going to be my first time checking it out. So let's take a look at it, see how he looks in pads and how he's moving on the field. It's going to be fun to check it out, and I just have to say massive congratulations to him for stepping out and taking a chance on himself and putting himself out there to chase his dream. Moving from the sport of rugby, where he played his entire life, to the NFL, absolutely incredible feat, no matter how he does, right? Because it just takes a lot of heart and courage to do that. So I just to give a massive shout out to LRZ. Let's take a look at some of his plays real quick. This is him right here in the backfield. So I don't know who's at quarterback right now, but you have LRZ right here. Looks solid in pads. He looked like he bulked up a little bit. I seen in his press conference, he's around like 210, I believe, right now. Let's see. Midway through the third quarter. Good step. Let me see. Let me go back if I can. That was a good step. So he did a little outside jab step. And he's going to take a little misdirection outside. Good move. Here's a handoff to a former rugby player. Let me go back. Second down and 7. Midway through the third quarter. Good step. And here's a handoff to a former good run. That's the difference within the game of the NFL. The tackles are so fast and dynamic, and being able to accept that contact is different. The speed of the game, because the close quarter contact aspect of it. Good run though to start. He's on special teams. This is him right here, just getting past. This is a gunner. He's got it at the 9-yard line, and he makes a move back to the 15, whiffed. Let me go back. Let's see him. So is Arian. So he's doing a good job fighting off the defender right here. Gets back inside. Right here, he whiffs the tackle. So what I want to see him is open up his hips more towards the end zone area. See how his hips are facing towards the sideline and leaving the lane open. He'll be fine if he's able to continue to key this hip, but what he does is he puts his head down, and we're going to see it. He puts his head down and he initiates contact on the opposite side of the Jaguars player right here, and the guy tries to go for a wrap on his hips, and it's so hard to leg tackle these guys because they're so freaking powerful and strong, and he just whiffs his tackle. But let's take a look. See, well, he does a great job here. So he breaks down, fantastic breakdown right here. So he did adjust, which is very nice to see. The Jaguars player was incredibly elusive though. Look, he does that step, so he steps back, causes LRZ to whiff. His head is on the outside hip of the Jaguars player. The arm tackle is just not enough because of the powerful legs, and completely whiffs him right here. But it was a great attempt. He did an exceptional job, I do have to say, of breaking down from that initial stop that we saw and readjusting his body to, initiate contact. It's just that dynamic step that the punt returner made, he went back and then out. It threw his body positioning off, and he was able to get outside of LRZ and make him miss that tackle. But it was a good attempt, I have to say. Just keep his head up more, go more into the body instead of stopping his feet. Look like if we go right here. See, it was still good though, man. He still did his best, but I think what would happen, and it's easy to say, right? What you want to do, instead of him going down and strafing this line, he should have attacked more of the hip. So instead of him going straight down the line, he's giving the punt returner room and space to make a move happen, which he did. If he starts moving towards his hip and attacking, he gives the guy less decisions on the field. So right here, if he just kept going forward, instead of stopping, going to the right, he had a better chance of making this tackle, getting his head on the right side of, well, I say the right side of the hip, but on the correct side and going through the tackle instead of going outside and missing that tackle. But great effort right there. What can you say? It's his first game in the NFL. First game playing football. He's right here running. Nice. Takes a little out. That's good. That was good. Let's see him. Did a good job. Fake like he's going to block. And then he comes out on this little swing pass. This little out. Nice hands right there. Gets his head around. Slips a little bit just because the turf. No biggie. Nice outside. He sidestepped that really nice. Look at him move his foot. So he slips. The defender slips right here. He's able to avoid that tackle by lifting his foot. That was great. Really good vision right there. And he does a good job. What can you say? That was a good play. He did a great job. First handoff.
Rees-Zammit is running left.
Let's see it.
Under pressure, dumps it off underneath. Jaguars are in the vicinity, but they miss.
Back to that little dump off.
And after the penalty,
good run.
The handoff, and Rees-Zammit is running left.
Good run.
His kicker, by
and he kicks it with the new NFL rules. You have to kick it within that 20 and within the 20 yards. Not allowed to kick it to the end zone. That's really good, man. Well, good for LRZ. He looks a little bit uncomfortable, which makes sense. It's his first time playing football. With the new elements. He has pads, he has a helmet, and the nature of football compared to rugby's more free-flowing, more dynamic, whereas football is more structured and strategic because you're running plays against the opposition. And that's the thing, when he was making this play, there's not a lot of room for him to be elusive because the Jacksonville Jaguar defense, they're fast and they're really great tackling. So for him to get his first downs and first snaps, I think that he did a good job, and it's going to be cool to see how he develops in this. But what can you say, man? First time playing football at the highest level with guys who have played this their entire life. Fair play to him, man. It's not he had 1 yard total this entire game, but what can you say, man? To me, that's a success for him to even step on the field and get some downs. He looks a little bit uncomfortable on his feet, but it's going to come, man. It's just getting used to the speed of the game, and that's going to come with more experience. But I think great job to LRZ for getting his first snaps. I think he did a good job considering that major transition that he had from rugby to the NFL. As I was saying, I just think you have to look at this for what it is. It wasn't a breakout superstar moment where he's, jaw-dropping performance by any means. It's one of those, he's getting his feet wet. He has a 3-year contract coming from the IPP program, and he's learning the system, learning the game, and the speed of the game. It's completely different from the world that he's coming from, where rugby's that free-flowing dynamic, making things happen like, just flowy, just like a soccer. Things are happening and you're working on the fly. Whereas football, he's going through a massive playbook. The speed of the game is a lot faster. It's that stop and go nature of football that he has to get used to. And the speed and the dynamics of tackling is way different than rugby. In rugby, you can see the tackles coming. You can, set yourself up, and it's more of an expected collision or expected contact. In the NFL, it's way different. People are flying left and right. As many men as can tackle you and make a play on the ball can do that. So the dynamics of tackling and hitting in the NFL are way different than rugby, and it's more explosive and fast. And that's just looking at him playing this game, being able to accept the handoff and all the reads that he has to do, like you're seeing him fake setting up for a block in case the linebacker comes through the gap. But if nobody comes through, he does a little swing route, gets the pass, and then he has to make it happen on his feet, going against however many defenders in front of him. So I think that he did a good job for his debut, and it's going to be interesting to see him develop, not only as this season goes, but into the following years as he develops into a true football player. And I say it all the time, man. It's easy to look at a guy like Rees-Zammit and throw hate, but there's no hate that I can throw at a man like this that is putting himself out there, taking the chance and betting on himself and trying something completely outside of his wheelhouse. I just have the most respect for him because playing the game of football, I played my entire life, and I made it to the level of D2. In football, we have structures. It's D1, D1 AA, D2, D3, and they have other like NAI after that. But guys from the NFL, these guys, there's some guys that come from D2 and D3, you know, but it's the majority of these men come from massive D1 schools that have a lot of funding, and these men are massive and they've been playing the game for so long. And for him to make that transition from the world of rugby and come into the NFL as his first game, you know, playing in the NFL as your first game, like with no reps at the grassroots level, very difficult for anyone to do, right? But for him to come in and get some reps, there's going to be those jitters, there's going to be those nerves, and I think he did a great job. Once he finds his footing, gets used to the physicality of the NFL game, gets used to the speed of it and the quickness. It's a completely different speed of the game. Guys are flying around, hits are coming from every different angle. You're working on blocking, downfield blocking, protecting your quarterback. There's so many different reads that you have to make in football compared to the game of rugby, and that from the outside looking in is not always known or understood coming from the world of rugby. There's a lot of dynamics and a lot of principles that he has to learn to be a well-structured football player. And playing the position of running back, he's not only going to have to work on like handling the ball, taking it from the quarterback to running back exchange, working on blocking, working on his release routes, working on downfield blocking, and just even being decoys and things like that. So there's a lot of different reads that he has to go through, and for him to pick it up and be able to step on the field within, you know, just this year, within the 6-7 month period, absolutely exceptional, and I'm excited to see him develop, and I'll cover more videos on him as we go through the preseason and see if he's able to make the 53-man squad. And you know, it'd be interesting to see. Right now it's hard to tell because that wasn't like a huge impact game. It was just more like getting his feet wet. But I want to know your thoughts, Qrew. What are your thoughts on LRZ's performance and how he is developing as an NFL player? I would love to hear it. And as always, I appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, drop into our Discord in the descriptions below, or our offline QSN pub for rugby, talk family life, pictures, videos on food and all that stuff. And if you haven't already, subscribe, Qrew. We'll catch you on the next video. I love you. I appreciate you. Always stay laser focused on your dreams and your vision. And remember that you're in control. Peace.